Welcome to today's deep dive for you, the listener. Usually when we think of an accounting ledger, there's this expectation of, like, perfect, cold precision. You line up the debits and credits, and the numbers just balance out cleanly.
Right, yeah. It's the language of math. It's comforting because it's completely visible and contained.
Exactly. But today, we're diving into Amanda Park's gritty thriller, Sled and Redemption, to see what happens when street-level violence violently collides with white-collar corruption.
Oh man, in this story, that perfectly balanced spreadsheet is dragged completely through the mud.
Yeah, the ink is literal blood, and the bottom line is measured entirely in human lives.
So the moment this illusion of perfection shatters happens at 3:15 a.m. in a foggy North Philly alley. A crew led by our protagonist, Malachi, violently breaches an underground gambling den called the Vault.
And they aren't just there for the cash, right? I mean, they are hunting for a master ledger to exonerate Malachi's brother, Travis.
Yeah, Travis is sitting in a maximum security prison for a crime he didn't commit. So they get the ledger, but the heist turns into an absolute bloodbath.
It's so brutal, and then they make a fatal error during the getaway. It reminds me of a company spending millions on an impenetrable IT firewall only for an employee to leave the admin password on a sticky note attached to their monitor.
That is such a good way to put it.
Mm.
And the sticky note in this heist is a dropped, custom-engraved silver Zippo lighter with Malachi's exact initials, MAV.
Okay, let's unpack this, because how do you leave something so obviously incriminating at the scene of a double homicide?
Well, it really comes down to human physiology, specifically the adrenaline crash. During a shootout, your sympathetic nervous system is just in overdrive, pumping out adrenaline and cortisol to keep you alive.
Oh, wow, so it's a physical reaction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But once that immediate threat passes and you get in the getaway car, the body chemically dumbs all that tension. When that happens, your fine motor skills rapidly degrade.
So he just drops it.
Yeah, Malachi reached for a vape pen. His hands were likely shaking or numb from the crash. The lighter slipped out, and his brain didn't even register it. It's just human error shattering the illusion of a perfect crime.
And that one dropped lighter is the thread connecting the bloody streets directly to the pristine boardroom. Because when Malachi examines that stolen ledger, he finds a gold anvil seal belonging to Liberty Structural.
Right, which exposes the actual mechanism of the corruption. CEO Marcus Collins was using this smoky gambling den to launder off the books union payoffs.
And Travis, Malachi's brother, worked as an auditor and got too close to the truth.
Exactly. So Collins had 5 kilos of narcotics planted in Travis's car to silence him. He destroyed a man's life with a pen, completely insulated from the physical violence.
Wait, here's where it gets really interesting, because I can't let Malachi off the hook as some noble hero here.
Oh, definitely not.
Right. To get back at the CEO, Malachi takes the fight directly to Collins' Chestnut Hill mansion. And to force Collins to sign a confession, Malachi and his muscle actively terrorize the CEO's 10-year-old son, Elijah.
It's really hard to read.
It is. Hasn't he just become the exact monster he's fighting?
I mean, that is the central tragic paradox of vigilante justice.
Yeah.
Malachi uses the exact same tools of fear and coercion that the corrupt corporate system used against his family.
He justifies it to himself.
Yeah, he convinces himself the ends justify the means, but he is paying the balance of this ledger with his own humanity.
Which brings up a wild legal reality. A SWAT team eventually blows the doors off that mansion, a massive firefight breaks out, and Malachi surrenders.
Right, and the state has him dead to rights under Pennsylvania's felony murder rule.
But Malachi didn't pull the trigger in that initial robbery, yet SWAT and the prosecutors are treating him like he did.
So what does this all mean? Can you explain the actual legal philosophy behind charging him for murders committed by his crew?
Sure, so the underlying philosophy here is strict liability and deterrence. The law dictates that if you choose to participate in an inherently dangerous felony like an armed robbery, you assume the absolute risk for anything that happens as a result.
So you're on the hook no matter what. Exactly. The logic is that the initial crime creates a volatile, unpredictable situation. So you own all the consequences, regardless of who actually pulled the trigger or whether the death was intentional.
The law does not care about his noble motivations at all. So we get this ultimate brutal accounting transaction. Malachi hands federal prosecutors the ledger and accepts 2 consecutive life sentences.
Yeah, and in exchange, Collins goes to federal prison and Travis is fully exonerated.
A life for life.
He traded the rest of his natural life to buy back his brother's freedom.
It really highlights the dangerous illusion of control within any perfect system. But I want to leave you, our listeners, with one final thought to mull over.
Okay.
We spent this whole deep dive talking about a physical, leather-bound black book, but consider modern digital finance. If this corporate corruption happened today using offshore shell companies and an encrypted blockchain, physical force wouldn't help.
Oh, absolutely. You can't just crowbar a crypto wallet.
Exactly. Does the evolution of digital finance mean blue-collar fall guys are permanently disposable in the modern era? When the ledger is locked in the cloud, maybe the numbers really do stay cold and clean, leaving the rest of us entirely in the mud.